If you've hung in there with me thus far in this short series on the television time bomb, it should be obvious to you that when you sit down in front of your TV set, you are not merely being entertained. You are being brainwashed and reprogrammed. You are being desensitized to evil. You're being conditioned to first tolerate, then enjoy violence so hideous that it is naturally repugnant and even nauseating to someone who has never been exposed to television. Oh, the effect is gradual, of course, and not even noticeable to the victim. Have you ever noticed when you first walk into a dark movie theater on a bright sunny day how dark it seems inside? Unless there was an usher, you probably had to stand in the back for a few minutes until the darkness seemed to clear and you began to see again. Before long, you could see again. Everything looked normal. That is, until you walked into the sunlight again and the bright glare forced you to cover your eyes. We Christians are in a similar predicament. We are getting used to the dark. We live in a dimly lighted world where sin is the rule and not the exception. And yet, we are really children of the light. We must refuse to become so accustomed to the darkness of our world that we think it is normal and conform to its dubious wisdom. Desensitization to violence is only one of television's many negative effects. Television corrupts morals. Television has a sedative effect on the brain and tends to weaken the ability to think analytically. Television promotes isolation and loneliness and destroys relationships. It can also rob you of a major chunk of your life. More and more thought leaders are noticing how putrid the average network fare is. Chicago columnist Cal Thomas resolved at the end of 1990 to stop watching the networks. Here's his explanation. They have not only abandoned my values, they have now sunk to the sewer level, dispensing the foulest of smells that resemble the garbage I take to the curb twice a week. A lot of discerning people are realizing they are better off without television. But in case you're not ready to go cold turkey and put a baseball bat through the screen just yet, here are some helpful suggestions for controlling the electric shrine. Number 1, never let electric shrine, I should have stopped there and turned, right? Can we do that?
Yes.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 1, never allow your kids to have a TV in their bedrooms. This makes it difficult for you to monitor what they're watching, and it also increases their isolation from you. In fact, to set a good example, you shouldn't have one in the master bedroom either. Don't let the TV rob you of the time you need with your spouse. Number 2, avoid using TV as a babysitter. Don't let it be an isolating influence in your home. Instead, make it a family time. When you watch TV, do it as a family. During the commercials, discuss what you're seeing. Number 3, critique the commercials too. Ask, can this product really do that? What emotional need are they appealing to there? Number 4, make it a rule that whenever you come to something that contradicts your values, change the channel. You'll be doing a lot of channel hopping. Number 5, try to wean yourself from television. Rent some Christian videotapes. Better yet, encourage your kids to read books. Subscribe to some magazines for them. Allocate television time on the basis of books read. Have certain family nights when the television is outlawed. If television has such a strong hold on your family that these things don't work, Well, then consider getting rid of it altogether. You may suffer withdrawal symptoms for a while, but your family life will suddenly and mysteriously improve. Studies have shown that the amount of conflict in a family tends to be directly proportional to the amount of TV watched. Let me tell you a true story of what one mother with only a third-grade education did about the television problem in her home. Now, you know this story, you know this person. Her son, Benny, was the worst student in his 5th grade class at Higgins Elementary School. While most of the students were white, Ben was black. One of the most painful days of his life was the day he endured the mocking of his classmates after scoring a perfect 0 out of 30 on a math test. Well, then things began to turn around for Ben. First, he was diagnosed as visually handicapped and got glasses. His grades rose from F's to D's. Then Ben's mother turned off the television set. From now on, she said, you can watch no more than 3 programs a week. She pointed out that Ben could either waste time in front of the TV or shut it off and be on it someday, but not both. Are you listening? You know this story. Ben's mother then did something to make poor Ben's life even harder. She ordered him and his brother to read 2 books a week and give her a report on them at the end of the week. Books, she said, are the key to success. The doors of the world are open to people who can read. And my boys are going to be successful in life. Benny, you can do anything you set yourself to do. Well, gradually, Ben's reluctant trips to the library turned into an exciting challenge. Ben developed a thirst for learning. By the time he entered the 7th grade, Ben was at the top of his class of students. During his years at a white high school, Ben had to overcome peer pressure, racial prejudice, and a very bad temper. During his teen years, he gave his life to the Lord. Then, he received a scholarship to Yale University. Well, fast forward to right now. Today, my friend, Dr. Benjamin Carson, became the world-famous chief neurosurgeon of Johns Hopkins University, and he ran for president of the United States. His story is told in the book Gifted Hands, and yes, he has appeared on television, just as his mother predicted. He ran for president against Donald Trump, remember? Oh, in fact, he became a member of the president's cabinet and director of housing for the U.S. government. One secret for superior kids. But listen, Ben's experience is not unique. U.S. Senate chaplain Barry Black grew up in the slums of Baltimore's housing developments. Same identical story. Same disadvantages all black kids have. 0 potential. Fast forward, chaplain of the U.S. Senate. Exhibit number 3. About 25 years ago, a Manhattan mother was looking at her 2 preschoolers sitting in front of the television watching The Flintstones and I Love Lucy. For the first time, she noticed the trance-like stare and glazed eyes of her kids. Television had turned them into temporary zombies. This is weird, she thought. They don't look like that in normal life. So Marie Wynn began to do research and ended up writing a book called The Plug-in Drug, published in 1977. 10 years later, she published Unplugging the Plug-in Drug, in which she gives the recipe for turning off the hypnotic tube and substituting various activities that stimulate the brain and cause it to develop the ability to think critically. Now, although her husband was an award-winning documentary filmmaker, the couple turned off the TV in their home. Today, son Steve is a professional violinist, and Mike is a journalist who published a book while still a teenager. Of course, not every child who grows up without a TV will turn out just like that. I know that. But the chances of success are greatly increased. In fact, I'm waiting for someone to do a study which shows that one of the best indicators of a student's future success is the lack of television in the home. Someone will say, but television is educational, Lonnie. Some of these shows are important conversational items, and we cannot merely turn our back on reality. We must face up to these things. If I'm not up on the latest shows, people will think me naive. Well, friend, sometimes it's actually better to be naive. The Apostle Paul says in Romans chapter 6, verse 19, I want you to be wise about what is good and innocent about what is evil. There is a knowledge that defiles and poisons the wellspring of joy. Friend, don't keep sipping from the poisonous fountain. Resolve that you will give your children a strong advantage, a head start on success, by refusing to let them spend hours mesmerized by the boob tube. Teach them how to cultivate relationships. Teach them to love books. Teach them to use their time constructively. Set an example yourself. Someday they'll thank you for it. And your life too will be richer, happier, and full of God's peace if you give your eyes to Him. In a moment, I'm going to wrap up with a list on the screen of 39 things to do instead of watching TV. But as a final rubric on this volatile subject, let me conclude with this. Friend, why not think of ways to reach out to others? Consider widening your efforts to influence others in your community by starting a school group or neighborhood group to discuss and deal with the problems of television. You might want to link up with national groups that are doing something about the problem, such as Don Willman's American Family Association. Find out which legislators are working on the problem, such as what Senator Paul Simon, Democrat from Illinois, once did, and ask how you can help. You may only be one person, but God go with you. One person can make a difference in this world by taking a stand for the right and punching holes in the moral darkness. Notice now on your screen, 39 things to do instead of watching TV. 1, play a game. 2, build something. 3, read aloud with someone else. 4, pray for people you know who need help. 5, take a gift to someone. 6, take a walk, alone or with the family. 7, learn a craft. 8, play with pets. 9, discuss a family problem. 10, solve a puzzle. 11, draw or paint. 12, write something creative. 13, read a book. 14, bake bread. 15, listen to music. 16, have a taffy pull. 17, make music. 18, have a family sing-in. 19, exercise. 20, plan the next family outing. 21, invite a friend over. 22, listen to the radio. 23, try a new recipe. 24, listen to a recorded book. 25, make popcorn balls. 26, clean out your dresser drawers. 27, talk to your spouse. 28, finish a project. 29, do a crossword puzzle. 30, do a good deed. 31, revive a dormant friendship. 32, clean out your closet. 33, clean house. 34, work in the garden. 35, wash your car. 36, go to the library. 37, begin a Bible study. 38, plan tomorrow. And 39, go to bed.